Paul Brown said to me, son, act like you've been there before. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, I just barely got on the field. I hadn't been there before. So
I'm glad to be part of that trend. You know, sun's out, guns out.
How about Isaac Curtis on one side, Charlie Joyner on the other side? A lot of quarterbacks were very envious that I had those two weapons to throw to. But
now, wait a minute. Is it fair that Pat McInally is still the sexiest guy on our team? Is that?
You got me there. You got me good.
Donald, how you gonna be in that video not represent with a chain? Your cane goes, man. I got mine on. I'm ready to go.
Oh, that's great. That's priceless.
There are two guys that I think it's a travesty that are not in that Hall of Fame.
Ken Riley and Ken Anderson. Yeah, sure.
Let's put the backdrop on, Jamie. See if Marissa's okay with it.
Yeah, I got her backdrop. Starting the Canadian fan club up here for you.
That is so funny.
My last touchdown, and that's what Joe Burrow's going to end up like if they don't start protecting his ass. It's going to be the next David Klingler from David Klingler.
There's no Spanish-speaking people here, very few. So we, fast forward, we go to the Super Bowl in Miami, and the word was the Bengals have two big Mexican offensive linemen. They don't know how to speak Spanish. So I got down there and started doing these interviews in Spanish, and they're like, "Wait, we heard you don't speak Spanish."
What's going on, fellas? What's going on? But I got on the plane one day in an all red Suge Knight suit. And boy, Joe Walters and the linemen, they destroyed me. I thought for sure I was so clean. I had some gaiters on, all red suit on. I was Suge Knight. They roasted me.
The head coach was really the pain in the butt. The Jerry Glenn, he thought he was. If you didn't know who he was, he walked out there like he owned his state. And I always say, if I could get a chance to hit him on the sideline, I would.
I'm tackling your ass, Pete. I'm shoestring low on you.
But I got to tell you, you have been stepped on, son. You would have had cleats everywhere.
Well, I'm proud to be a Bengal. Yes, I'm proud to be a Bengal. Always been. I got nothing from you guys.
So guys, welcome everybody to season 2, first episode of season 2. That intro was hilarious, Jamie. Good job with the intro. We have missed everybody that's viewing right now. We haven't seen you guys in like over a month now, so it's good to see everybody.
Great to see everyone. We're out here in the desert. Finally, a nice day. I think the weather's been nicer back home in Cincinnati in the Midwest than what we have here. I apologize. I'm a little dark. My light that Jimmy bought's not working too well. Production errors, week 1, but we'll get those fixed. And as you said, Jimmy, great to see everyone. Had that little hiatus there to refresh, and excited for season 2 here.
Jamie, what's going on in Canada? Everything good, buddy?
Same thing, cold and snowy, and everything's good. I wish I was in Arizona with you guys, but
yeah, well, it's good stuff. So I want to thank some people real quick. So I would like to say thank the Cincinnati Reds for putting our promo up on the Jumbotron at Goodyear today. Best Photoshop ever. It was not very good by me, by the way. My bad. And then we want to welcome our friends from Houday Nation. They do a great job, and great follow on Facebook, guys. Make sure you follow that group, Houday Nation on Facebook. A bunch of folks in the viewing area right now from that group as well. So, guys, quick rundown. We got a lot of stuff to get to. We're going to talk about a few things here, guys. So, first of all, we're going to talk about Troy Richards. Before we got off the air, he was kind of touch and go on whether he was getting out of the hospital. He's out, guys. He's home. He's doing really good. So he's in the clear right now. So it's good to see Troy out. Touchdown, Troy, and he's doing a good job. He's doing really well right now, which is great. A couple things to talk about, guys. We're going to talk about the Jungle to the Hall of Fame event on June 19th here in a minute. We're going to bring on Tom Justa. We're going to talk some Bengal free agency. We got Dell Hall, guys. If you guys remember Dell Hall, this guy is the creator of the beer diet. For 46 days, that's all he does is drink beer, nothing else. Doesn't eat food. So he has gone international on his interviews right here. So we have Dell on the show here with us early as well. We have our charity duck races, and I want to hit on that now. We still have about 4 or 5 spots open for those charity duck races. All you have to do in our chat area, tell us you want a duck. Make sure you go to the Anthony Munoz Foundation and make that donation, and we'll do that duck race right before we bring on our special guest this evening. And then we got Elizabeth Blackburn, an absolute rock star from the Bengals front office. A lot of fun stuff to talk to Elizabeth tonight, guys.
It's going to be fun. And just so people know that those that make that donation, those proceeds go 100% to the Anthony Munoz Foundation. And then the winner of that duck race is going to take home that signed print. And you can tell more about the artist there, Jimmy. Pretty cool print. We shared a bunch of those on social media. This one this week is going to be the Anthony Munoz one, signed by Anthony. And that's going to be the prize for the duck race winner tonight.
One of a kind. Gene Sanny is the artist who did those. We commissioned him to do a one for him and Ken Anderson. We're going to use those as giveaways the next few weeks. But beautiful. We're going to have Anthony sign it as well. So if you want a duck, make sure you throw your name in there and get to the Anthony Munoz Foundation and get that done. And we'll add you here last minute if you wanted to. Okay. Guys, I guess let's go ahead and talk about our event on June 19th. I know it's pretty far out, but guys, this is a big deal. So on June 19th, we're doing basically the Jungle to the Hall of Fame. We have an event planned from 1 to 3 o'clock. We have an actual outdoor, basically a canopy, a tent area that we're going to be able to do a rally up there. So we've got some commitments from some players and former players that are going to be there live and virtually. We'll talk more about that down the road with some social media marketing that we'll be doing. But guys, the other things that we've done on top of it is try to make it easy for everybody is that if you're able to attend, we're able to work out discounts on the tickets to the Hall of Fame. The Hall of Fame is open to like 8 o'clock that night. So after the rally, feel free to kind of walk through and do your self-guided tour of the Hall of Fame. We got $5 discounted tickets. Those links are on our social media pages. And if you think you want to spend the night that evening, we got a hotel locked up about 5 minutes away from the Hall of Fame, which also shares a parking lot with Fathead Brewery up there, which has great beers and food. So we'll kind of share that same parking lot and go have some drinks later that evening. But on top of that, the cool thing, I know the head football coach up at Massillon, he's letting us basically walk through their indoor practice facility, walk out into the football field. They have their own little Hall of Fame, and that's where it all started with Paul Brown, guys. So from at 10 o'clock that morning, if you wanted to kind of take over to the Massillon High School, which isn't that far away, you actually will be able to get a tour of their facility, a giant statue of Paul Brown Stadium outside the football stadium. So really looking for a crowd, guys. We need bodies. We're going to have a lot of media there, but we're looking for you guys. We're focusing on 8 players, but the 2 specific players we'll be talking about are Ken Anderson and Ken Riley. So that'll be a fun event, guys.
Definitely going to be fun. That is Father's Day weekend, so planning ahead, mark your calendar. If you want to make a day trip, as Jimmy said, you certainly can do that. I personally have never been to the Hall of Fame, so I'm looking forward to that. As Jimmy alluded to, there is a brewery after if you want to spend the night. Lots of Bengals fans going up there, and the Bengal gym bus will be there, right, Jimmy?
Yep. And I forgot to mention there are 15% discounts on the hotels that we locked up as well. Nice hotel, great spot. The big thing, you can go to the Massillon event. You can stay at the hotel. I want to make sure the primary focus is getting bodies there from 1 to 3 o'clock. It's going to be a lot of fun. So stay tuned. More to come on that. So it'll be fun. Let's go ahead and bring on Dell Hall. Let's talk to Dell, and Dell has a great story here. We're going to bring him on now. James, you okay?
Yeah. Dell, welcome.
Guys, you got me mid-drink. I'm sitting here having a little dinner right now.
For anybody that's been to the tailgate the last 3-4 years, Dell's been an integral part of what we do. Coming on board with 16 lots this year has been exciting and awesome. Everything we've done this year, but for the last couple years, Dell's done something that's pretty unique, I should say, has got a lot of national exposure from it. And I'm going to let kind of turn the mic over to Dell. And so since Len started, Dell, what have you been up to?
Yeah, so I've only been drinking beer since Len started, right? So, I do this thing, you alluded to it, but every year from Ash Wednesday to Easter, I don't eat, literally no calories whatsoever, and only drink beer. So I get all my sustenance, everything I need, I get it from beer. And now it's known like all over the world as the beer diet. And yes, there will be a beer diet book coming out by the end of 2021. And so just to give you an update, today is day 26 I'm down 28.3 pounds just drinking this stuff.
And that's the new labels there for 16 lots. Those look pretty
Right?
cool.
Check those
So
out.
when you started this, Del, going back to the first time, what was the goal? And did you ever envision the amount of media that would cover such
So
an
the
event?
goal was to not die, right? Because I didn't know. So when you get into beer, you always hear about, you know, the monks did this back in like the 1600s. But, you know, me, just like, I wanted to myth bust that. So I was like, you know what, I want to do it myself. I've learned enough about like intermittent fasting and time restricted eating and, you know, kind of when I was doing the keto diet and things like that, that I was like, you know, I think that's feasible. I think you really can do that. But I'm going to try it myself. So that first year, 1, I wanted to complete it. 2, I didn't want to die. Right. And then, so not only did I not die, all markers of health improved. That first year I lost 44 pounds, 42 of which was all fat. And I felt like I stumbled on something. I felt like, you know, I had broken addictions to like, you know, fast food and processed food and things like that. And, you know, so that second year is when I added a charitable aspect to it. Because the first year, look, if I'm going to die, I didn't want like, you know, a charity to like take the blame for that. So I avoided that like the plague. Year 2, though, I felt like, hey, I get so much attention from this because, yeah, it blew up, right? I mean, I went all over the world. I've been on news and radio in the U.S. Over 500 times, and I've been in 50 different countries. So with that kind of attention, I thought there's got to be a way for me to use it to raise money for charities. So the second year I did the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation, ended up raising, you know, $10,000 for them last year. And that was in the middle of a pandemic. So speaking of the pandemic, this year I decided to raise money for restaurant workers in Southern Ohio and Northern Kentucky. So I started Sergeant Dell's virtual tip jar, and all the press I'm getting this year, everything, you know, and I get so much press. But I mean, I have a publicist. Like that's how big it's gotten now. Like I literally have a publicist. That is going across the world. Sergeant Dell's virtual tip jar. You can Google it. It's a GoFundMe. But basically, we're at $11,900 right now. We're barely over halfway through Lent. So there's still a long way to go. And, you know, there's a lot of opportunity for people to donate. So, you know, since we're talking about that right now, in fact, I'm talking about it, but let's challenge Who Day Nation right now. I'm at $11,900. There's no reason that at the end of this show that I shouldn't be over the $12,000 mark. That's $100, right? Let's go. Let's show everybody who Bengals fans really are. We're super competitive. We're super generous, and 100% of all that money is going to bars and restaurants who were you know affected by the coronavirus.
And for those that want to donate, they can go to what's the exact website, Del?
If you just Google Sergeant Dell's virtual tip jar, it comes up. It's the first thing you're going to see.
Well, guys.
If you go to GoFundMe, it's just look for Sergeant Dell. You know, that's my handle on all the beer stuff. I'm a 9-year Army veteran, so I've been going by Sergeant Dell for years and years. If you just Google it, you'll find it.
So final question before we let you go. What's been the hardest part? Obviously, you've done this before. This particular journey, I believe you said you were 20-some days in. What's been the hardest part of the journey this year, sticking to that extreme diet?
Yeah, so I learn something every year, right? So I learn, you know, different techniques. Last year, I felt like I drank a lot of really sweet, like sugary beers and a lot of fruit beers. And all that did was like make me crave those things for days after that. So this year I've avoided a lot of that, sticking to regular like IPAs and Pilsners and things. And that's really helped out. But hands down, the hardest part every year, I have a 14-year-old daughter with cerebral palsy, and I have to help her eat. So literally, I cook the food, and then I touch the food, and I help her eat. And you know, a normal dad reaction if you get, you know, soft pizza sauce or, you know, ketchup on your finger is you just lick it off. And I can't do that. I take this so seriously. No calories whatsoever. So that's always the hardest part.
Well, thank you, Del, for joining us. We appreciate everything you do for the tailgate, with 16 lots, what you do for the community. Again, another awesome thing you're doing, especially with the money going to the restaurant and hospitality industry who's suffered so much in 2020. So we appreciate you, buddy. Thanks for coming on. Who Day, and we'll see how that challenge goes to the fan base to get you over that $12,000 mark.
Everybody.
See you, Dale. See you, buddy. Who Day?
Thanks, buddy.
Good.
Great dude, man. I'm telling you what, man, I went out with him one afternoon. We put up all these table tents and signs around downtown, different bars and restaurants. And this guy has a passion around helping local charities, man. And just like us, man, we love Dale Hall for sure.
Yeah.
Guys, if you do want to donate to the GoFundMe, it's posted in our comments section, so you can scroll for that. If you can't find it for any reason, just do a search for Sergeant Dells on Google or on the GoFundMe platform.
Got it.
Over that
Well,
12,000.
Say that again, Jamie.
Let's get him over the 12,000 mark today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep,
Absolutely.
sure.
He's worked really hard on that. So Jamie, let's go ahead. And we got Tom Justin's going to be with us today as well. Usually we do Tom Justin with our History 101 segment, but history is, what's your new title now, Tom? What is it?
Today it's present. Bengals present 101.
So, Tom, we wanted to hit on a little discussion around free agency, the tampering, and all the other craziness right now. So let's take a few minutes to talk about Bengal free agency. I mean, what's on your mind?
Well, as we learned last week when the franchise tag came and went, despite how the four of us may have talked the night we had Jeff Hobson on, never doubt Jeff as to what's going to be happening down at PBS. The Bengals did not tag Carl Lawson. They did not tag William Jackson III. So there's plenty of cash, depending on who you wish to believe. The Bengals either have the fifth or sixth amount of money left under the cap going into free agency, which is good when you have the record we had last year and the holes we need to fill. It is a gamble to let two very talented players like that get into the tampering period, which legally starts tomorrow. Although, let's be honest, teams are able to talk to agents, and they do. Most teams, not all teams, talk to agents beforehand. I'm always amazed when only the tampering period, the legal tampering period, will start at 4:00, and at 4:02 you're getting reports about, 6-year, $65,000 or $65 million contracts. But the tampering period, legal tampering period, starts tomorrow. The Bengals can get into it. We've got a lot of holes to fill. Some of them are going to get filled by guys coming back healthy, but we've got a lot of holes to fill. The tackle market pretty much dried up. It normally does this week. So look for the Bengals to go for guards. There's no reason to get into the names. The names have been all over the place. I do think this year, as opposed to just an abundance or new names or different names or hoping, I really think they're going to go for quality.
What's your thoughts, Tom? We've seen a lot of veterans be cut here in the last, 14 days. A lot of it seems to be from teams trying to get underneath that cap. Have you been surprised by some of the names that have been cut, especially on the offensive line?
Not really. I've been surprised at a couple of the guards that have been offered more. But everybody was going nuts about Trey Turner and Trey in San Diego. He's hurt. He didn't play all that well. He went to the Pro Bowl a few years back, but he hasn't really played to that level. So no, not really. Not when you look at the challenges teams have to get under the cap. I haven't been incredibly shocked. I've been shocked like the Bengals today. AJ Bowie was reportedly in town for a visit. He visited the Raiders a couple days ago, and he was in town. He's a darn good corner. Not an elite corner, but a darn good corner. And, I think he would be the type of guy that can start, and the Bengals can get significantly less than what they're going to have to pay William Jackson III. So not horrific. In fact, I was surprised there weren't more guys. They were really talking about Armageddon before free agency started.
It's definitely going to be a totally new landscape this year going into free agency. Obviously, with COVID last year, revenue certainly not what it's been in the past. Teams trying to get under the cap. We know some teams are over right now. So what can we expect Wednesday once everything goes live, per se?
For the locals, listening to Duke Tobin, it sounds like a little bit different strategy than in past years. Normally, the Bengals like to wait the first day or two where things are so furious and big, ridiculous money is, flying off the books in different cities, and the Bengals wait for things to settle down. I think this year they must have a couple guys targeted that they're at least going to try. They're going to talk to and make very competitive offers, if not overwhelming offers, to bring them in. But we have to look at the offensive line. We definitely need to look at cornerback, especially in the free agent market, because no matter how talented a cornerback is, he's still a rookie your first year. What do we hear every week? Such and such a quarterback is picking on the rookie cornerback. So we're going to be looking for that. And I don't think the Bengals just want a cornerback. I think they want several. They want to be deep at that position.
We saw them spend big on the defensive side of the ball last year. Do you envision that same money going to the offensive side this year, particularly in the needs to protect Joe?
In free agency?
Yes.
Because of the lack of tackles, quality, big-time tackles out there, I think they will focus on guard. And I think, if it was me, I would advise them to get one very good guard. Not just a new guy, not just a new name, not to steal a line from Dave Lapham, reshuffling the deck chairs on the Titanic, but to get a guy that can come in and help day one to shut down his area, protect Joe Burrow, and open holes for Joe Mixon. But really, I think in free agency, I think they may heavy up on the defensive side of the ball again. I think you could see a lineman, and I think they'll look very closely at the wide receivers that are out there. There are a lot of wide receivers out there. I think they're still looking for the one guy that can take the top off the defense. We're going to be talking about the draft in coming weeks, but I really think in free agency, you put yourself in a position where you don't have to draft a specific guy, especially in the first round. You can take that best player available.
Right.
Unfortunately, I don't think they're going to be able to fill that tackle void in free agency, though.
You know what? I'm ready to go. I just work for Case of Beer. I could play tackle, brother. We'll be all right. We'll be all right.
This is why I didn't go to Arizona. That's why I stayed here to watch The Office. It's okay.
Well, Tommy, we appreciate it, buddy. It's good stuff. I can't wait for next week because I'm sure we're going to have some news here before next show next week.
It's going to be a furious week, so stay tuned, and you guys come home safe.
All right. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it, man.
Thanks, Jamie.
Appreciate it.
It's going to be a fun week here. Free agency actually officially starts Wednesday, right? 17th.
Yeah.
So
St. Patrick's Day.
See how, like last year, the Bengals surprised everybody by making splashes, and now this year we're expecting it. We're just waiting for. I mean, how long has it been as a Bengals fan that you're waiting for free agency to happen and be actually excited about seeing what the team's going to do? Pretty cool.
I seriously think they're going to have a similar splash like they did last year. I think the odds in Vegas was at 4 free agent signings are over. What was the over and under? Like 4? It's a joke. Somebody sent me that text, and they're going to sign 4 or more. Doesn't matter. If they sign 1 or 2 studs that can help us immediately, that helps put our draft in the right direction for sure.
Yep.
So
it'll be interesting. It'll be a fun week. And,
looks like.
Go ahead.
Sorry, looks like we sold out our ducks. So Jamie, I just sent that to you in a message.
Yep.
Okay. So we have sold all the ducks. So I just want to be clear, as Jamie's setting this up right now, is that the focus charity this week is the Anthony Munoz Foundation. You guys just raised another $650 for the Anthony Munoz Foundation. It puts us, our Bengal fans, at $4,826 that we've raised for local charities so far this year. Give yourself an applause, guys. That's just a great, great thing. We're almost at $5,000. That's it. Mm-hmm.
All right.
So we've got, 26 ducks.
26 ducks.
And the winner wins that one-of-a-kind print that will be autographed by Anthony Munoz from Gene Sani. So great stuff here. So good luck with the ducks. And Jamie, just like last season, will be a duck caller.
All right, James, here we go. Good luck.
All right. Our first one of season 2. I think this was a big hit last year. So we're back for more. And again, we appreciate everyone's generosity and donating. And 100% of these proceeds go to the charity, as we mentioned earlier. That's the Anthony Munoz Foundation.
We didn't pick a winner beforehand. Who do you got?
I got 11. Whoever's got it.
Lucky number 13 here, boys. Lucky number 13.
The strawberry duck showed his nose early and then fell back. That's our buddy Paul's. See Tony the Tiger in there. Our buddy Mons in
16
there.
sneaking up.
Now, for those who are watching the show for the first time, this is the longest minute of the show. And it's always the duck at the back that comes back.
Brandon, our buddy Brandon's here watching in person, cheering for his duck, Jamie. If you can see him now, he's jumping up and down.
There's no chance. 14.
Oh, there he is.
There it is. No way.
I told you, do not want to be in the lead with 10 seconds left. You do not.
Our buddy Brandon.
Seconds left.
Understand, Jamie, this is total random, right? You don't decide who wins this.
This is random.
Oh, man.
You?
What's that?
Yeah, he's literally with us right now in Arizona.
Drinking beer, watching us.
The fans are going to be restless here.
Yes, yeah. So just to reiterate here, guys, $650 you guys just raised for the Anthony Munoz Foundation. Let me tell you, those folks in the Munoz Foundation are outstanding people. So that puts us almost at $5,000, over $4,800 so far this year. And this would be a weekly event. The Duck Raises, having fun, raising money for local charities. Thank you so much for participating, everybody. That was fun. It's always a fun event.
Yeah, that print's pretty cool. So thank you to the gentleman that did those. And Brandon's going to be the lucky winner that takes an autographed Anthony Munoz print home with him.
Okay. You don't need to bring her on now, but is Elizabeth in the waiting room?
Yes, sir.
All right. So let's, before we bring Elizabeth on, guys, we have had some great guests over the years. We've had 30-something odd players, current and former players. We had some Bengal folks on, Jeff Hobson and Marissa Contepelli. We had a lot of fun with these guys. And guys, we got a rock star getting ready to come on here. And I would like you, if you could, Jamie, to pop up that the image I sent you, the quote that she had. So, guys, this is what a way to start off season one, right? We finished with that Super Bowl 16 special with Collinsworth and Pete Johnson and Ken Anderson, and, all those great guys, and Munoz. We're starting off the second season with Elizabeth Blackburn, and there was some great articles done. She was been on some great podcasts here in the last 2 or 3 weeks. And that particular quote right there, and if you're a fan, it's funny, right? Because there's no doubt in my mind, knowing the Brown family, they want to win as desperately as you and I do. But it's funny that, you see this quote from Elizabeth, who is a young, up-and-coming, rising rock star in the organization here in the front office. That had to give everybody goosebumps when we saw that quote. And for somebody in the front office to come out and say it the way she said it, it is very obvious to everybody that watched those interviews, listened to those interviews and read those articles. Jeff Hobson had an outstanding article. She's a fan, just like us, guys. And so if she's in the waiting room, let's go ahead and bring on Elizabeth Blackburn.
Here we go.
Elizabeth, what's going on?
Hi, guys.
Yes. What do you got on there? What is that?
So as requested, I did fit into my children's medium Jeff Blake jersey. I have a smaller one as well, but luckily this one still fits somehow.
Oh my gosh.
And I've got one of my many, many Bengals hats on. You guys always look so great with your hats and background and everything. This was the best I could try to do to compete.
It looks great. I love the old CB, the Paul Brown old CB hat. We love it. So tell the quick story. Hey, we're talking as fans now, Elizabeth. All right, I will change the subject here in a minute. But as fans, your favorite player in the 90s, right, when you were young, was Jeff Blake.
Yes. As seen by my little baby Jeff Blake jersey and this one, I mean, the main memory I have is from the Graders in Marymount. I was in the parking lot, and that's somehow when I learned that Jeff Blake was no longer going to be on our team, and I just started sobbing my eyes out, like crying so hard. And that's how I know, like, Jeff was my first favorite player.
That's great. So we have a surprise for you, Elizabeth. So, Jamie, if you want to pop up that message from on our number 90s, in the 90s, Jeff Blake, that'd be great.
Yep.
Hi, Elizabeth. This is Jeff Blake. I want to say thank you for being a fan all these years, and who day.
Jeff said a personal shout out to you, Elizabeth.
I went back and watched your guys' episode when you had Jeff on. It's amazing. Oh my gosh, thank you.
That's great. He apologizes. Literally, he did that from the airport because he's literally on a flight right now, or he would be here live with us.
Yeah.
Oh my God. No, that's amazing. Thank you.
Love it. Love
That's
it.
awesome. You guys, I mean, your show is incredible. Like the Super Bowl special, and you just have had an all-star lineup. It's amazing. The show is so well done, so fun. I'm super honored to get to be on here with you guys. You're so nice.
So Liz, we've had Ken Anderson, Chris Collinsworth, Willie Anderson, Jeff Blake, all those guys, whatever. We got Elizabeth Blackburn on. That's top of the pyramid right there, Elizabeth. All right, so let's ask them questions here. So this is the fan. This is intrigues me because I know I can see the suite up there with the family sitting up there, and I know it's pretty tight-lipped during games and stuff like that. But you Elizabeth, so when you're watching a game, are you like stoic, like mom and dad and grandpa up there? Are you controlled during a game? Or are you nervous, yelling crazy like the rest of us? Which fan are you, Elizabeth?
Yeah, definitely the latter. I should probably be more calm and collected, and I'm working on it. But even this year, like after the Steelers Monday night game, I was hoarse at work the next day.
So what's crazy, like, that quote that we had shot up here right before you came on, and I know you were talking about that game, that awful game, but I think you and I had the same, everybody had to say, like, you never had been so high at a Bengals game and so low in such a short period of time. And I think I was doing the same thing you were doing. We probably all were looking around the stadium and it was out of control, pandemonium. And we always talk about it, Elizabeth, I know you weren't around, but this city in 81 and 88, the Bengals Super Bowl season, there's never been anything like that in a city. And we got another taste of that during that playoff game. But you said you want to bring that feeling back constantly, right? It's kind of your goal.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's like, hard to hear a little bit that I haven't experienced it, and it's all I want. And I even watched the Super Bowl special episode you guys did, and hearing you talk about the 81 year, it's really special. And yeah, it's no doubt what I want to bring for the whole city and have it last. That's the whole goal.
That's right. Love it. So what's, you seem to be very in touch right now with the emotions of Bengal fans, right? Social media stuff we'll get into here in a minute. But is it hard to separate Elizabeth, the super fan, versus Elizabeth, the member of, the Bengals management and the Brown family? So talk to us about that.
I think, I don't know. To me, I think of it more as like having that connection and understanding of the fans and how I can harness that in a way that makes me more valuable or differentiated in a front office position. I don't think of it as separating them. I just think of how do I use my personal experience as a fan and my stories and connection, hearing other people, other Bengals fans' stories and experiences, and using that to weave into, what we do more of and, what we're focused on.
Yep. Good stuff. So I want to pop up a picture here, and I told you I wouldn't surprise you too much. This may be a little bit of a surprise, but, and James is probably going to talk about this leading into the next question here. Yep. So if you could put up, I think we called it clip 3. It's the photo, Jamie.
All right, Elizabeth, not to put you on the spot there, but we can see your grandfather in that picture, which that's an awesome photo. And we'll see if Jimmy wants to share where that came from, but very cool photo. Is there a particular characteristic that maybe your family members or others in the Bengals organization say, hey, that reminds me of my grandpa Mike or my great grandfather?
I'm going to answer it slightly different because I don't know if other people would say this about me or not, but I would kind of hope that they would. One of maybe the best things that my grandpa taught me was, like, if you ever can find a job that you love, you're never going to feel like you work a day in your life. And I know that that's true for him because he goes down to the stadium on Christmas to be at the office. And I always had that in the back of my mind coming out of college and going into other jobs to get experience. And ultimately that just kept ringing in the back of my mind. And I'll say, like, in my first year working for the team, it feels so true. And I love working for the team. I love the team more than anything. And if there were anything that someone would say is similar between my grandpa and me, I would hope that it'd be something to the effect of our love and passion for the team.
Very cool picture. Can you tell us more about that picture? Do you remember the history behind it?
So that's in my grandpa and my grandma Goggy's backyard, which, as a side note, because I was waiting on when I could weave this in, Goggy knows Bengal Jim from all of the tailgating days. And like my grandpa's wife, Goggy, she will like travel to away games on like fan buses. Like she'll like do the bus trips with Lenny. And I remember going to farm parties with the Bengal Bombers growing up. So Jim, that's a shout out and a hello from Goggy or from Nancy.
Nancy Brown, Mike's wife, she is a sweetheart. And don't mess with her after the game if the Bengals lose. You don't want to. She's very upset. She gets very upset when the Bengals lose. But she's come to different tailgates around different parking lots for years, handing out cookies, and the best grandma and grandpa you could ever have, right?
Yeah, they're amazing. So that I do remember that picture because my grandpa is an avid animal lover, and so he always feeds the birds and feeds the deer in his backyard. So one day, like, I was with Goggy and Gramps came home and I went out back and was like throwing birdseed to help him feed the birds.
Nice.
And then I think that picture like got in the newspaper or something.
I don't know. We didn't get it from the newspaper. It might have been somebody you know. We just can't disclose where that picture came from. But Elizabeth, it's that picture I thought was great, right? So I guess I want to go here next. So I know sports has played a very instrumental role in your life, Elizabeth. And people don't know, I mean, in high school, I mean, you played lacrosse, you were swimming, crew tennis, you were outstanding. So I do have a clip. As you watch some of the shows, Elizabeth, we always find a clip somewhere on YouTube or somewhere out there of every one of our guests. And we found one of Elizabeth, a very young Elizabeth, back in her high school days. So let's go ahead and play that clip, Jamie. I think I have it as clip number 2.
I'm here at the Cincinnati Country Day School with Caroline and Elizabeth Blackburn, who have qualified for the Division II Tennis State Championships, which we played this Friday and Saturday in Columbus. Congratulations, girls. What does it mean to make it to States this year?
Well, it's really, really exciting. It's been a goal of mine since the beginning of the season to make it back to Columbus, especially with my sister. So it's a big accomplishment, and I'm really excited. I'm excited. I think it will be a lot of fun, especially since it's with Elizabeth. I hope we just have a lot of fun and play well.
So Elizabeth, your mom, you're going to kill me, I know, but so that clip was like 2009, 2010. You and your sister Carolyn made it to state for tennis, right?
Yeah, we were. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that clip is amazing, Jim. I don't know where you found that. That's awesome. Yeah, so Caroline is 2 years younger than me, and her sophomore year, my senior year, we were doubles partners in tennis and made it to the state tournament, which was a really, I mean, so special, like in general, and to be able to do that with my sister was awesome.
Well, that was the footage we were looking for. The actual match just couldn't find that one on there, Elizabeth.
It's amazing, right? Like cameras have proliferated to just like a crazy degree where in 10 years now you can find literally everything on yep. video. And I don't know. Honestly, I'm sort of glad. Like I've played a lot of sports because I was never really that good at one sport. So it just gave me the ability to try lots of different sports. So
that's great.
That's so funny. That's amazing that you found that clip.
That's funny. So you went to Dartmouth. So you're obviously your mom was also an athlete as well, right? Did she play hockey? Was it field
We
hockey
played
or regular
ice
hockey?
hockey at Dartmouth.
Ice hockey. See,
Yeah.
people now we know. If you didn't know, that Elizabeth's
She,
mom is
she
very.
also played rugby for a year.
So let's ask this question right now: who's more talent, more athletic, your mom or your dad?
Oh,
Don't answer that question. Do not answer that question. Totally bad question. Sorry, we're not professional.
I would
media.
say my
Sorry about
sister.
that. Okay,
So sneaky door number 3, my sister.
got it. Nice. So James, Jamie, I know you guys have some more questions as well.
Yeah, you did. Go ahead, Jamie, and then I'll go.
I was going to say, as the resident Canadian on the stream here, I'm happy to hear that you're a fan of hockey, played hockey, our national sport up here. Elizabeth, outside of your family, who has been the most influential to you in your career?
Oh man. Maybe a little bit of an unfair answer, but like I've been very lucky throughout different stages of my life having like amazing mentors, and it's like continues to like surprise and humble me with people who are willing to kind of take me under their wing or give me advice. So like in high school, I had an amazing SAT tutor who honestly was a huge reason why I went to Dartmouth and why I studied engineering. And then I've been really lucky with some really, really awesome bosses throughout my different projects at Bain, KKR, and even I spent 6 months up at the NFL league office in New York. And even in a very short time there, honestly, like half a dozen people I interacted with, some who are still there today, were unbelievably generous with kind of taking me under their wing, and I've stayed in touch with them. So thank you to all of my mentors out there. I've been very lucky with great role models in all areas.
That's a perfect segment, Elizabeth, as somebody that went to college as well. But college was good, but it was those internships that you did outside that kind of compared to the real life and what it was going to be like outside the classroom and actually in the field, getting your feet wet. Yeah. Can you elaborate a little bit more on the NFL internship and what you learned by doing that?
Yeah, definitely. So it was actually part of my time at Bain & Company. They allow you to set up a 6-month internship at another company if you want. So I set up a 6-month internship at the league office, and I broke it into 2 parts so that I could, learn a little bit more, get a little bit more exposure. So I spent the first 3 months during the end of the 2017 season in a group that's called the Management Council, and they oversee like all the transactions. They enforce the salary cap. Like we reconciled the salary cap every day to make sure no teams were over the cap. And it was a great way to understand the CBA, understand player contracts. It was really fun. I helped them actually start preparing to negotiate the new CBA that just passed, last year, but it's a multi-year process to plan and prepare for that. And then the second half of my time up at the league office, I spent in their strategy group, which was more similar to my work in consulting. Like you're doing a lot of cross-functional projects, and that was great exposure. I got the chance to make a lot of connections across many, many different groups and understand how the league office is structured and sort of understand what drives the league different from, at the team level. So it was a fabulous experience.
All righty. Jimmy? Oh, you're muted, Jimmy.
Sorry, I was trying to get the feedback off of here. We're too close to each other. Sorry, Elizabeth. So let's talk about your mom, Katie, and the executive role that she's in. And, you got Marissa Contepelli, Emily Parker. Elizabeth, you got some great folks down there. Just talk about.
Johanna Kapner is our CFO.
Sorry, I know I'm forgetting names. But
I'm just adding to the list.
Yeah, just so talk about the group that you have down there, because it is a measurable change. With whatever's been going on the last few years in the social media and the marketing and the interaction with the fan base, it's different, and we can feel it out here, Elizabeth. So whatever you guys are doing, it's a great job. But can you speak a little bit to that?
Sure. I'm glad that you guys are feeling it and feeling excited and optimistic about what's coming. I mean, just in my first year over the last 12 months, we've really part of like I saw I'm like diverging for a second, but I saw one of the comments for one of your like promotions for the show was like, "What is my title?" And so to try to answer that, because it sounds a little bit vague, but I did want to like try to clarify. So and it'll tie in here with the fan engagement piece. So I came back last year, and my title is strategy and engagement, and on the strategy side, it's to help us focus on strategic projects and kind of reporting and analytics, which is similar to my background from consulting and private equity. But then on the engagement side, that's where I've been so excited to hear and see fans, feeling heard and loving our content, because we have an awesome team. And we've really shifted our strategy around content, and fan engagement is even more paramount of an initiative and a focus for the team. And so we have some really talented and creative content folks who've been amazing with their social media content, and we're really excited and optimistic about getting more fans into the stadium this year to see that translate to the content that we'll see on the Jungle Vision board and on game day. So I don't know, I could talk about it more, but we just have a great team, and we're really excited about what's to come. Like, I think we're just feeling the start of a lot of positive momentum, and we're just going to keep rolling.
That's awesome. So I know there's a lot of questions in our chat area. I'm just going to tell you right now, everybody, we're not asking Elizabeth right now about the Ring of Honor. We're not asking about the uniforms. Although I was hoping for that like big breaking story. She'd come out and wear the new jerseys and everything on the show. But
no, we've got way too much content planned. It's going to be awesome. Everyone's been working extremely hard on that, and I'm very excited for the fans to see that. I would not do it justice.
I know. I'm just playing with you. So let's. It's funny. There's some questions in here, and actually, if you have any questions for Elizabeth, type them in our chat here. Right now, we do have several thousand people watching Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter combined. Some pretty big viewing out there right now. But somebody wanted me to comment on that hat, Elizabeth. So I think Tom Justin, our resident historian, just wanted everybody to know that hat that Elizabeth had on is her great grandfather, Paul Brown, used to wear that on the practice fields. And there's a bunch of old pictures on social media, and I've got some great photos, 8x10s of great grandpa Elizabeth with that hat on. That's a very cool hat. I love the history tie-in to everything you're doing. It's been fun to watch. So let's go. Let's go ahead and post up a couple questions here from our viewers right now, if you're able to, Jamie, if you can find a few of them.
Sure. So let's throw this one up from Anthony. Question: what is your long-term vision of the team and fans' relationship? We are seeing the change.
Thanks for the question, Anthony. My long-term vision is that it's a close, positive, fun relationship. I mean, I think sports offer like hope and enthusiasm and connection for communities. And I think football is unique in its ability to bring different types of people together. So I want the relationship with the fans to be close and positive.
Awesome. Chris asks, did you always know, coming from a football family, that you wanted to have your career in sports?
I did. I tried to be extremely thoughtful about, whether to do that and how to come back. But since I was very, very little, like 2 years old, I have just dreamt about the Bengals winning Super Bowls and me coming back to do my part and try and make that happen.
This is a good question from Bengalorian. Do you see all of us goofballs and our love for this team on social media? Are you guys seeing what the fans are saying? How crazy we can
Yes, it gets me excited. Like truly, I mean, I love it. We see you.
Hold on, Jimmy. Hold on, buddy.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Jimmy.
My bad, my day. Just to be clear, Elizabeth, there's a negative minority out there that sounds bigger than what they are. Most are going to be just like us, and we're excited about everything and hoping for the best. And the positivity is more out there than the negative minority. That's for sure. So,
Well, thank you guys. I mean, I actually truly am amazed at how optimistic and positive Bengals Twitter can be sometimes, right? Like, so I'm thankful. I know the Bengals fans are amazing. They're resilient, they're tough, but they're fun. And I'm really excited to hopefully meet a lot more of you at tailgates, at games, and who knows what else.
and so pop that back up, Jamie, that question.
Hold on. There we go.
So McMahon actually lives in the Florida area, and sometimes he has meltdowns, but he's as diehard a fan as anybody else, Elizabeth.
Just ride the roller coaster.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find. Oh, Steve and Jeff are asking, will you be joining your grandma to any tailgates? We'd love to see you out there.
Yes, I mean, I'm hopeful. We've got to get tailgates back, but I will definitely make my rounds with Gagi on the tailgate front. I was sad that, obviously last year was just so different. So
there was another question. I'm going to pipe in here. Somebody wrote, everybody knows the Reds do a fan fest in December. Has there been any talks about the Bengals doing something similar to what the Reds do with Reds Fest, Elizabeth?
I would say we're talking about a lot of things, and it's going to be continuous evaluation and reevaluation. I know that's kind of a non-answer, but everything to me is sort of on the table, and we're just working through it one priority at a time and seeing what sticks and seeing what doesn't stick. So.
Okay. And before COVID hit, I don't know if you were around, Elizabeth. You guys did the kind of the treasure hunt at PBS. It was a Saturday before our Jacksonville game 2 years ago, which I thought was very cool.
The scavenger hunt.
Hunt. Yeah, there was a lot of Bengals alumni that were present. You got to see areas of the stadium that you don't often see. So whoever put that together, that was a very cool event, and I think more fan interaction like that, what our fans are clamoring for. So kudos.
That's awesome. I will definitely. That was before I was back. That was during the 100th NFL anniversary. But I know exactly who put that on, and I will definitely relay that. I'm glad to hear you guys had fun.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
I think I know the answer to this next question, but I'm going to put it up anyway. Are you excited about the return of Joe Burrow?
Yes. Yes.
That's good stuff. So I know we want to respect your time. I told you 20 minutes to half an hour, but this has been great, Elizabeth. And it's fun not just to kind of hear you on a podcast or see an article by Bengals.com, Jeff Hobson, which does an outstanding job, to see you and to hear you, the energy that you bring and the positive attitude that you have, Elizabeth. We appreciate you being with us. And there's a ton of folks out there right now that are loving this discussion. So I guess there's two things I have left on mine. I would like you to close with something here in a minute. But first of all, I would like you to talk about the season ticket packages that you guys put together. I know you had your fingerprints all over that.
Yeah, I'm really excited for the season ticket packages. So we're really trying to offer different types of season tickets that can truly appeal to any type of fan who wants to come to our games. And I mean, I start with season tickets are the way to go because it's 10 games. It's like I talk about it as it's 10 parties. And I want those to be the 10 can't miss parties in the greater Cincinnati area. And we've got everything from, like, I can't help myself but start with the Canopy Crazies, which I sort of modeled after my sister's time at Duke. So we went to a basketball game. Obviously, there's the Cameron Crazies and just this diehard, super high energy student section. and hopefully a really appealing opportunity for like millennials or anybody. I mean, everybody wants to relive college, right? Like, so there's the Canopy Crazies. We've got a really cool new offering in the club called Club Lux that we designed after watching and hearing feedback during COVID, where companies were looking for ways and opportunities to thank and celebrate their employees. So we designed the Club Lux package, particularly with companies in mind, but also it's just a great package where you get parking and food and beverage credit up front, so you can go enjoy the club lounge. The club lounges are great spaces and sort of a all-inclusive package, if you will. So, I mean, every single area of this stadium, we want to be special. We want it to feel like an awesome community. And you guys do such a great job with, like, I'll see sections shouted out on Twitter, and we just, want it to be
158.
Yes.
158, baby, 158. So I do want to,
and then we just need lots more 158 micro communities all throughout. I mean, I hope so much that, with Joe coming back, both Joes coming back, I really am excited about this fall, and I want that atmosphere and energy.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I do want to say, I don't care whoever, all the other season ticket holders out there, I have the best season ticket rep. Her name is Allie. Allie Tokar is the best. So if you need tickets, you can call anybody, but call Allie, 6513-621-3550. Give you a little shout out there, Elizabeth, because the ticket rep folks down there have been outstanding.
That's great to hear. Allie's awesome. She's got so much energy, and yeah, that's great.
James, do you?
Oh, hold on, James.
I said, be sure to ask for the Bengal Gym discount, even though you won't get it.
I actually asked for that last week, and the prices went up. So,
so Allie, I do want to close with one more question. I want to be very clear and provide as much clarity as we can on this. It means a lot to not just us on the screen here, but all the hundreds and hundreds of folks right now that are watching this to get this insight from the front office. And we know your family is absolutely outstanding. They're a bunch of good folks, good people trying to do the right things. But it is kind of fun to hear you and see you and the energy and the positivity and the excitement and the passion about winning the Super Bowl. And I know that resonates within the whole family, but to hear it differently from you means a lot, Elizabeth. So thank you so much for being with us. But I do want you to close right now. You literally have several thousand folks, fans from across, not just Cincinnati, not just across the country, but I'm not kidding, around the world. We have a huge group in Mexico. Our Bengals UK folks are the best. Spain's watching. The Mexican fan base is watching right now. We got a lot of Canadians for some reason, not like Jamie. We've got so a lot of people are watching right now. I would like, if you could, to close with do a message to the fan base, whether they're here locally or not.
I'll start with thank you, because Who Dey Nation is the best. We have the best fans, and so thank you for your continued support, energy, optimism. I really believe that we're embarking on a special chapter of Bengals history, and I want you and all of your friends and family and neighbors and who else to be a part of it. And whether you're cheering from Mexico or Spain or in Section 312, I'm thankful, and I love your passion and your energy, and you're what it's all about. And we can't wait to do everything to give all of Who Dey Nation that special ride that season. And so Who Dey.
You nailed it. We appreciate Elizabeth. It means a lot hearing that coming from you guys, and we're excited for the season. So we're going to pack this place out if COVID allows us to get PBS back going again. And we appreciate you so much. Thanks again for being with us.
Thank you, guys. This was super fun. You're wonderful. I love your show. Thank you to all the Bengals fans. So here's to a good 2021. Who Dey.
Who Dey. Thanks, Elizabeth. See ya.
Thank you. Awesome.
Man, I will tell you, if you have any doubts about this team, Like I got goosebumps, guys. Like she is so excited. And a lot of people in the chat were saying that this is young blood. It's great to have somebody from the organization come on the show, talk directly to the fans. I hate to say it, guys, what I love the most is just knowing that these guys are watching our show.
Yeah,
It was referencing past episodes of our show. So as a fan doing a fan show, that just means so much. That's a lot.
Yeah, James, what's your take, man? I
the energy. I feel like Troy and Katie and Mike, great people, know the business, but I just love that shot of energy, bringing Elizabeth in and having her part of that organization. I think anytime, and I don't care if it's a 100-year-old company, 200-year-old company, or 3-year-old company, just a different set of eyes to come in with some different ideas. And I think Elizabeth's doing that, and everything she's done thus far, she's killed it, and it's exciting. It's a breath of fresh air. I think, again, looking at it from a different perspective, I'm excited, and I think she certainly looks to the younger demographic. I think if you look at the NFL, with what they're doing with the kids and the Play 60, the NFL needs to keep getting these younger folks in, and Elizabeth's just done a great job with everything she's touched thus far, and excited for what she's going to do in the future.
And guys, I mean no disrespect to the other people out there that have interviewed Elizabeth, but it's so much different seeing her talk about this team than it is hearing her or reading about her talk about the team. The passion and excitement, you can just tell she's a fan.
And here's what's funny. So when Tom and I ran the fan club back from 99 to 2004, guys, we got to sit in the room with Mike Brown and just talk to him. I'm telling you, just like we're talking right now. He is as diehard as a fan, wants to win, and has a passion for it more than any of us. Now, again, Mike Brown communicating to that is not going to be the same way that Elizabeth is communicating that to us. So it's funny to kind of see the personalities within the organization, the front office, all family, good people, all want the same thing, but it comes off differently in how it's shown, especially live. And I really appreciate her coming on and that energy and enthusiasm that the whole family has. But to hear her, the way she communicates it, provides a different point of view for everybody.
Tom, what do you think?
I think kind of expanding on what you said, Jamie, she speaks our language. And you can tell, I think when we have all hurt, she has hurt. And when we've all been fired up, she's been fired up. So she understands us. And I think it's one criticism that certain parts of the organization have gotten is that they don't understand the fans. They don't feel the fans' angst or pain or anything else. And she clearly has, and that is an extension of the rest of the family in the front office. So that's a good thing. But like you said, the energy is really, really, really refreshing to see and feel. And I think it's going to be not just contagious in Paul Brown Stadium, but through Bengaldom everywhere. So it's really, really refreshing. And I'll tell you what, Troy and Katie, who I've met and are first-class individuals and two of the smartest people you will ever meet, they better not get sick and take a sick day, because that young lady will just step right in, and we may never see the two of them again. So she's a very impressive young lady.
Yep.
Well, guys, let's go ahead and close this out here. Jamie, James, Tom, anything else before I close it?
No,
Excited.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, James.
Go ahead.
Just, keep your phone charged. Tomorrow at 4:00 is the legal tampering period. Wednesday, free agents can be officially signed. Duke Tobin, in an interview last week, hinted that the Bengals were going to be aggressive early. They were going to use some of that cap. So keep watching, and hopefully by next Sunday night, we have a vastly improved team.
I'm excited for season 2, and what a great way to kick it off. If we look back at what we did a year ago, nobody would have thought we are where we're at today. But it's, again, thank you to the fans. You guys and gals have been great. There's Brandon. But again, whether it's donations to the charity, almost $5,000 raised thus far to kick off 2021, or $10,000 raised last year. The Bengals community is just first class, and without you, the fans, we wouldn't do this. So we look forward to a great season 2, and I think this is a great start to the 2021 season. Jamie?
Yeah, guys, I'm excited about season 2. I'm more excited about this team than I've ever been after this interview. Honestly, I've got goosebumps when she was talking. I love the energy. I love the passion. It's going to be cool. I can't wait to keep doing the show with you guys every Sunday. We're going to have lots to talk about. Hopefully next week we have a lot to talk about. I hope my phone's going to go off like Tom's saying it's going to. So it's going to be great to be back, guys.
Good stuff. So let's go ahead. First of all, thanks Elizabeth Blackburn and the Brown, Mike Brown, and the whole front office for allowing us to be able to talk to Elizabeth. Fun time. Excited. Same with me, Jamie. Goosebumps on both forearms here as she was talking. Really cool to hear that. So thank you guys, the fans, for keeping this thing going, guys. We wouldn't be here without you guys. It's by the fans, for the fans, and the viewership on this thing has really gotten through the roof here, and we appreciate everybody for being involved and making this show what it is. Another $650 to another local charity, $650 raised tonight by you, the fan, for the Anthony Munoz Foundation. So we appreciate everything you're doing there. We're almost at $5,000 already this year alone. For donations, and it is all because of you guys. Charity matters, and Bengal fans are absolutely great supporting these local charities. Don't forget, June 19th, guys, keep an eye on that social media. Get those hotel rooms locked up. Buy your tickets to the Hall of Fame. But that event at 1 o'clock, we need to show out as Bengal fans. So I know we have some people coming in from upstate New York. I know we got people coming in from Detroit, Chicago, a lot of people coming up from Cincinnati and Columbus. We've got plenty of room in this giant event tent. Let's fill this thing up. We're going to have local and national media. We're going to have some players there, either virtually or in person. So we're working on the agenda there, the details of that event from 1 to 3 o'clock, but we need bodies, and it's all supporting our Bengals that should be in the Hall of Fame. And we're going to focus on not just 8 that we think should be in there, but mainly 2. And obviously that's Ken Anderson and Ken Riley. We have all 9 senior voters. We have their information, their contacts. We're not overwhelming them with just being, we want to be professional about what we're doing, right? So we are putting together a deck for these guys. So that deck will show quotes from different Hall of Famers about Ken Anderson and Ken Riley. They'll show links and videos and statistics, all kinds of things in one little package for these guys. But all 9 of the senior voters will get that. So we're hoping we can supplement as fans at this rally to help the organization, help to supplement what the organization is doing as well. So it's about showing out and getting the media attention that we need for these guys, especially those 9 senior voters. So appreciate that. And guys, next week, we're back, and back for episode 2. And as Brandon sits here, looks over my shoulder.
Hey guys, I just
go ahead, Jamie.
I was gonna say, first of all, I just noticed that James not from Canada. That's funny. I just didn't see that.
Yeah, close.
I think I'm big on signs, guys, and I think there's a sign here with this show. You guys are in Arizona right now, and right behind you it says Goodyear, and I think
yeah, it's going to be. Hey, it's going to be a good year. That's right. I like it, Jamie. Good catch. So, guys, we appreciate everything. We'll be back next week. Stay tuned. Free agency starts Wednesday. We'll be back with another special guest next week. But thank you. Stay positive. Hooday. And let's fill PBS this year, guys. It's a blast when it's packed, baby. So let's do it. We'll see you guys next week. Hooday.
Hooday.
Hooday.